Hi everyone, in the last video we talked about interfaces. In this video we're going to be talking about control statements. So I'm quickly going to spin up a func main and I'm going to say hello world. So yeah, I ran a hello world, and then after this hello world I'm going to explain to you guys what Go has. So in terms of control statements, Go has if else conditions, Go has for loop, and surprisingly Go does not have a while loop. So but the for loop in Go is very powerful, and then you're going to see that in just a short while. And then we have switch case statements, and we have keywords like break, continue, etc. Not etc, but yeah, etc. So diving into if else conditions, so Go guidelines state that if the syntax or the format should be like this. So you have an if condition, and then you have else if, and then you have a else. So one thing to notice that the brackets here are very necessary. So let me declare a flag it to true, and then I can say if flag, then print line true, else if flag is equal to, or rather else if not flag, or let me rather introduce the concept of pointers over here, and I can say that f is equal to true and flag is equal to the address of f. So you're gonna see a lot of values like this. So what happens during web dev is, or rather concurrent development also, that we prefer to have everything in the terms of pointers. So you might see a lot of boolean values also being declared as pointers. The benefit is that we get access to this nil block. So we can say that okay, the first if condition should always be flag is equal to nil, just so we know that the memory even being allocated to it or not. And then we can say is it true, else we can say print false. Now we have kind of a really great control string going over here. You can say fmt.println value is nil. So you do a quick go run main go, and then you get a hello world and true. Yeah. So going to main 5 again. Now this is how if else conditions work. If else conditions also support these chaining up of conditions rather, and or. So I can say and 2 is equal to 3. In this case this is always going to be true, or I can say or 5 not equal to 6, which is always going to be true. 2 equal to 3 is going to be false, my bad. Yeah. So, and one thing that you might saw was, two things that you might have seen were that okay, you need to include these brackets. If you don't include these brackets, it's gonna return an error. So you do need these brackets even if your line is just one line. So in other programming languages like C, C++, Python, etc., you don't need to say that okay, you don't need to declare brackets basically. And then one more thing is that with languages like C and C++, your if blocks were always like if, and then you get a pair of brackets, and inside the brackets you type whatever control statements that you want to type. And even in Python 3 also you can do this, and in JavaScript also. So but in Golang you don't need brackets anymore. You can, and in fact if you do type something using brackets, then it's automatically gonna throw an error. See, it automatically remove the brackets for us. So now moving on to for loops. So for loops, the syntax is quite similar to the one you had in C and C++. So you can say for I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, and then funct.println I. Now if you run this, you get 1 to 9. Cool. So this so what you can do is, if you want to run an infinite loop, you can simply remove everything and then simply do anything you want over here, and it's gonna run an infinite loop in that. So it's gonna run till you press Ctrl C at your terminal. So this is the syntax of running an infinite loop. And then you can also iterate in arrays. You can say that, okay, let me define an array first. So like my array is an array of type string, which is basically an array of our names, my Angad, my surname, and then my middle name, which doesn't exist. Middle name, okay, fine, as far as I know. Yeah, so then I can say for I is equal to range over array, and then print everything that you get. So I do a quick go run main5.go, and then I got 1, 0, 1 and 2, and that is because it takes two values. So the first value is an index, the second value is actually the value. So you have the index and then you have the value. So if you look at this closely, you can say, okay, 0, the 0th index element is Angad, the first element is Sharma, and the second element is middle name, which is correct. And then you can also iterate over maps. So let me make a new map. My map is equal to map of string to an interface. So you'll see me a lot of times making maps with the key as string and the value as interfaces, because really, if you're doing any kind of dynamic programming where you don't know what your input is going to be, it's safe to play it safe. It's better to play it safe. And then my map name is equal to Angad, and my map age is going to be 20. Now to loop over a map, you say for key and value in range of my map. Again, the syntax is pretty simple. You can simply say from.println my key is %s, my key is %s, and my value is also %v. So %v is something that you want to use for structures, interfaces and all. So I'm quickly going to do a printf instead of println over here, because I want a formatted string as an output. I'm going to say key and value, just like in C. Now expected expression, line 27. Yeah, my bad. So make. Working. Now let's see. I'll do a quick go run, and then there you go. You got key is age, value is 20, and then on the another iteration you got key as name and the value as Angad. So here we were easily able to iterate over a map. So in the next video I'm going to be showing you about switch conditions and how you can play around with those.